Have you ever been doing your job, meeting your deadlines, maybe even actually completing the work sooner than it was due, only to then be told it seems as though you don't want to be there? It hurts. You literally think, I'm doing the work, I'm being efficient, I don't understand. But here's a subtext that isn't taught. In the corporate world, optics are as important as output, if not more. How you look while you're working, it signals your reliability, your commitment, and your future potential. Therefore, if you're acting like that student who just really wants to finish their test and then leave, you are accidentally signaling to everyone that perhaps you're actually a high-risk hire. Today, we are looking at the self-conduct audit I wish I had on day one. I learned this the hard way. In my first year in the corporate world, I started as an IBM placement student. I wish I could say I had it all figured out and knew what I was doing when I went in there. But no, I still was very much a university student. I thought as long as the work's done, surely the rest doesn't matter. There were little things. When I was sitting at my desk, I'd be slouching, I'd finish a task, and then I would literally quickly send it back to my manager thinking I'd kind of finished my assignment and I'd be done with it. And then there were times I would go off and sit with the other placement students in the office, just working together, being social. And in my head, I just thought I'm being efficient, I'm multitasking. Wait a minute, Jag. A few weeks into my placement year, my manager pulled me aside. I will never forget it. They told me, Jag, we've all been discussing and it feels as though you don't want to be here. I was shocked. I was doing the work, but whatever I was doing, for whatever reason, it was signaling some form of laziness. The proximity that I had to my friends rather than my team, it signaled a lack of interest. And then me rushing and sending the work back, it was signaling that I wasn't thorough, even if the work was good. I realized I was acting as though I was still at university, but this is the corporate world. Let's look at this from a manager's perspective. They didn't just need the report. They needed to feel safe about my presence. When you slouch, when you're away from your desk, when you're sat with other teams, the one that's always with their friends, you're signaling that vagueness. As you know from episode 4, vagueness equals risk. As a teacher, I saw this all the time. If a student was slumped in their chair, I would assume that they aren't listening, even if they are a genius. The corporate world, it's no different. The subtext of acting professional, it's not about being fake or some sort of robot. It's about the signals that you're giving and how people read them. Let's look at the 2 P's, proximity and presence. Who you sit with, it tells a business who you aspire to be. If you're always sitting with those juniors in that social area, you aren't signaling future manager. Now your presence, sitting up and actually showing that you want to be there, being available at your desk. It's not about being controlled. It's about showing that you are part of that team's current energy. Let's talk about that habit of rushing work back. We think it makes us look quick, but here's the thing, to a manager, it might actually raise doubts. Have they really been able to do it this quickly? Did they think it through? Do they really understand the work? Are they just being careless? I learned early on, even with my own work, to just take a step back. I'd do a quick self-review. Have I actually met all of the objectives of the work? Is my conclusion strong? Have I made any silly little documentation mistakes? Spell checks? Absolutely no. Even if it took a little bit extra time, those small habits really shifted how my work was perceived. It's from someone who just gets the work done to someone who really takes ownership of their work. It's all about building that trust we spoke about in episode 2. I'm telling you this as the person who has been there, slouching at their desk and getting that talk. That talk I'm extremely grateful for, by the way, but not everyone is lucky enough to get that. This isn't about being fake. It's about respecting that environment that you are in, so people can finally see your talent. If your body language, your habits, they're signaling that you're bored, no one is really going to listen closely to the strength of your output. Stop performing like a student just trying to rush out of class. Start showing up as that leader who is ready to start solving problems and taking real ownership. Alignment starts with just how you hold yourself in that room. I want you to do a self-conduct audit tomorrow. Ask yourself these 3 things. If someone walked past my desk and they didn't know me, would they think that I'm an expert or an intern? Secondly, am I sitting with the people that I am learning from or the people I'm comfortable with? And finally, am I really rushing my work just to be done with it? Or am I signaling that I've really given it the thought that it deserves? If you give me your time, I don't take that lightly. The world is watching the subtext of your actions. Make sure they're really seeing that version of you that's ready for the next level. I'm Jack Dallywell. Let's keep looking at the subtext. I'll see you next week.